Hey there, hockey fans, and welcome back to another edition of Everett Silvertips Rinkside, right here on Everett TV. I'm your voice of the Silvertips, Travis Huntington. Great to have you with us for another edition, as the Silvertips are now well into the second half of the season and going down the stretch run, trying to get themselves into the playoff picture. We got a fun show planned for you here today, and we're going to be joined by the captain of your Everett Silvertips in his third year with the hockey club, 18-year-old defenseman Ryan Murray. And well, Ryan, first off, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. And how about a busy season that it's been, not just from a Silvertips standpoint, but everything that's going on for you. It's been quite a ride already, I'm sure, this year.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy so far with the draft and the World Juniors, and you know, even just the year is hectic itself. So yeah, the first half and stuff, it's just been a wild ride so far.
Yeah, well, and I mean, for you, it started even before this season in the summertime. I know you were at the World Junior camp before the year even began, and then you come to camp, and it's, I guess, just kind of go all the time for you, isn't it?
Yeah, the game's kind of like that nowadays, though. I mean, you're working out all the time in the summer, and you know, you got camps you're always going to and stuff, so it's kind of go all the time, even in the summer, even when you're not with the team.
I guess they had it good in the old days, right? There's like no workouts in the off season. And
yeah, they had it nice.
Well, and I guess here we are, Ryan, talking about some of the things that you've been up to. Obviously, you had the World Junior Championships that came up, and of course for you, you were coming off of an injury from the early part of this year, and I know it was tough for you to sit out a lengthy period of time, and then you went to that, and then you got back and right into the mix here with the Silvertips, and back at things here in the second half. Do you feel like you're settled in a little bit now that you've been back for a bit?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was nice to get out of the hotel. You know, we were on the road for about a month there with the World Junior team, and nice to get some home cooking in you and not eat pasta for once. I mean, we had pasta, I think, every single day, so it was nice to sleep in my own bed and get some home cooking.
Well, and I'm sure that as fun as that experience is, at the same time, it's like you said, with the hotels and the schedule and the media attention, which more than just cameras on this TV set, you had a whole lot of cameras in your face, and I would think it would have to be nice to get things back to normal a little bit.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, after every practicing game, there'd always be media, always TSN hanging around there, and they're always asking you just the littlest questions. I mean, some of the media were asking the chefs what we were eating, and I mean, they were just tons of media coverage, and it was just really hectic. I mean, just you know, you go to the rink and the rink's full even for practice, so it was pretty crazy.
Well, and I guess talking about that experience at the World Junior Championships, I know that's something that was important to you, to be able to make that team this season for Team Canada. You were so close to making it last year. You were coming off of that injury. Did you feel like you were fully ready to go when it came time for that selection camp?
I felt a little bit shaky in camp. I mean, I played one game before I went there, but still just timing was off a little bit, and conditioning, and the ankle was a little bit sore, not too bad, but I thought that I played well enough, and obviously I earned a roster spot, and you know, I think that if I would have got some more games in before that, I probably would have been more ready, but I was just thankful to get a spot.
Well, and I guess nothing like jumping right back into it. I mean, you weren't just jumping back, you know, into the lineup in a normal Silvertips game, in a Western League game. You were on the grandest stage in junior hockey, and some of the best players in the world out there. So nothing like getting right in, thrown in the fire, I suppose.
Yeah, it was unbelievable hockey pretty quick, and you know, when I got out there, it was a little bit too fast for me, I think, and you know, the first day, but. You know, after a few weeks, I really got settled in there and got used to the speed.
Well, and I would have to think that being able to be a part of that and being on that team, I know every junior hockey player in Canada wants to be on that team, and only 22 guys get to be on the club, and to be able to be one of those guys and be around that atmosphere and play with the best players in Canada. What was that like?
Oh, it's pretty unbelievable. I mean, a huge honor to represent my country and playing with the best players in Canada against the best in the world. It was just incredible experience. I mean, they took really good care of us. They treated us, you know, as good as I've ever been treated, and it was pretty amazing. You know, just the things that Hockey Canada did for us, and it was a it was a dream come true to be on that team, and it's something that a lot of us work our whole lives to do. I mean, we always watch it growing up, so it was just a huge honor to be there, and it was a really special time for me.
Well, I think you had quite a few Americans maybe that had a little rooting interest for Team Canada there right here in the Everett area, taking part, keeping an extra special eye on the Canadian team, I think, this year. And you guys, I know, obviously didn't quite get to where you were hoping in the gold medal game, and that game against Russia was one of those that was so back and forth. You guys with a huge comeback at the end and nearly got the thing tied. I would have to think an emotional roller coaster for you.
Yeah, I mean, the whole tournament is kind of pretty emotional. I mean, every game counts, and you can't you lose one game and that might be your tournament. So the game against Russia was too bad we couldn't come out with a win there. We hit the post with like 30 seconds left, and I mean, all the guys were just unbelievable on that team. A lot of character and a lot of heart, and I think that we all showed that in that game against Russia. And I thought that all the guys had an extremely good tournament, and just one game like that can turn your whole tournament around. So,
well, and you come home with a bronze medal there after a great rebound game for you guys there against Finland. Where you guys get the bronze, you're able to finish the tournament with a couple of points as well. Overall, did you feel pretty good about what that team accomplished and what you guys did as a group? Yeah,
I mean, we had a lot of really good players and a lot of really good guys, and I mean, the bronze medal game is a pretty tough game to play. It's not where we wanted to be, but we had to pick ourselves up and play it anyway, and it's just it's good that all the guys got together and we were able to win a medal.
Well, and then you were able to come back with the Silvertips, and at that point you had been back at full speed and playing quite a bit of hockey there for the past month there with Team Canada. What was it like coming back to the Silvertips at that point? I would have to think playing at that high of a level, you really had to feel pretty comfortable coming back into the lineup in the dub now.
Yeah, I mean, there's just it's a lot different. There's just a lot more time out there, a lot more room, and the guys at the World Juniors are pretty skilled, and you really have to watch everybody, and everybody can make plays. And not saying that you can at the WHL level, but it's just another level. And the speed was really one thing. I mean, you touch the puck, and there's a guy on you like that. So it's just the speed was the biggest difference between the WHL and the World Junior Tournament, I think.
Well, and you came back with the Silvertips, obviously just after the new year there, and kind of dive into the second half with your teammates. Was there anything that maybe you were able to even bring back from that experience that not only helps your game, but maybe can help the rest of the club as well?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can just see how many good players are out there. I mean, everybody wants to make it to the next level, and you see how many good players are out there that are looking to make it to that level. And I mean, it was really only 2 or 3 age groups at that tournament, so there's a lot more, and it just really gives you a perspective on how many good players are out there.
Well, and now that you're back with the Tips and have been for a little while, you guys are looking to put together a run here in the second half of the season after a tough first half. I know for you personally with the injury, it made it even harder for you to actually watch from the sidelines while your guys were out there struggling. Do you feel like maybe there's a sense of a new, invigorated kind of locker room in the second half?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just the atmosphere in there is different, and we're playing really good hockey right now, and we gotta keep rolling here in order to make the playoffs. But I think that all the guys are working extremely hard, and the first half we got a lot of young guys, and now I think that they're starting to understand the game and understand what it takes to play in the WHL. And there's like Cole Baumel, he's really made strides. I mean, he's been one of our best players here in the second half. So just the young guys that are really starting to understand what it takes.
Well, and as that process goes, I know that it's ever changing, and everybody is always trying to get better as a player and as a teammate, and off the ice you're learning different things for that process as well. And as this team goes forward, now that a lot of that has taken shape, does that really help guys maybe understand what it's going to take to help this team get going? Yeah, I mean, they're just learning every single day, and Mark's really Mark Ferner there, he's really helped us, every single day in practice. He's always teaching, and he's always, making sure that everybody understands what to do. And, he's been great with all the young guys. And, I mean, they're, every time you come into the league, you don't really know what to expect. And, the first half is usually pretty difficult. The younger guys aren't getting as much ice time. And, there's different things you got to worry about, speed of the game, and just how much better the players are than midget or wherever they came from. And,
now they're just really starting to understand what it takes, and I think that's been a huge contributor to how we're doing so well here in the second half.
Well, and it does seem like a lot of things have started to lay the groundwork anyway for, what obviously you guys hope is a run to the postseason there, and climbing out of that last place spot from the first half, and really making a big push at that. Is that kind of a unified goal right now for everybody, with eyes on the prize, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all want to make the playoffs, and if we get there, we're gonna really I think that we're really gonna make a difference, and I think that we have a really good team here, and we got some young guys, but everybody plays hard every single night, and we're always I think that we're always leading the hit department, and that's a big thing to us, and staying physical and working hard. And I mean, we've just made really good strides. I mean, we have just as many wins, I think, in the second half already as we did all of the first half. So we're getting a lot better, and we're playing a lot better, and it shows with our record.
Well, and I know that it's always a long-term thing, and you can never take that for granted, the progress that you guys have made. But knowing how far you've come and what you guys have already done as a team, do you feel that the groundwork is laid and things are setting up for you guys to be able to accomplish your goals?
Yeah, I mean, we got to keep working, that's for sure. I mean, we can't just look back and say, okay, we've been playing good hockey, and that's it. But we obviously have to keep working every single day, and keep our eye on the prize, which is the playoffs. And we got to win the big games coming up here against the teams that we're fighting for a spot with. And I think that if we all just work hard, play our best hockey, I mean, we're going to make the playoffs.
Well, and of course, I know for every team, obviously, to be able to get into the postseason is obviously the main goal at the beginning of the year. And once you're there, of course, anything can happen, especially in the game of hockey, which I know is a fun part of it. But is there any other thing besides that getting into the playoff spot that you guys focus on in the locker room? Is things that you guys work towards together, maybe those short-term goals rather than just the long-term one? Yeah,
we do 5-game segments with power play, penalty kill, shots for and against, goals for and against, and we take hitting stats, turnovers every single night. So those are always posted up on the board after every game or after every 5-game segment. So, you can see where you're at, and we set goals at the start of the year, and, it should be every 5 games you should be above those goals that we set. And so, we can really look where we're at, and, if we're not getting enough shots on net, we can see that, and we can make a change to that.
Does that help everybody when you have maybe a shorter-term goal over the next couple of games to look at, rather than that big picture of making the playoffs as such that lofty goal at the end? Does it help when you can break it up some?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just try and focus on every single game. I mean, you can't really look at the game after. We can't really be looking at Wednesday's game rather than Tuesday's game here coming up. So, I mean, we're just trying to look at every single game, and we got to win every single game that we can, because we're fighting for a playoff spot, so every game's important from here on out.
Well, it definitely is, and a whole lot more here to come still on Everett Silvertips Rinkside with Ryan Murray. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, though, we're going to talk about the NHL draft and some other things about Ryan's career with the Everett Silvertips. We're coming right back with more Everett Silvertips Rinkside right here on Everett TV.
At Everett Community College, you can stay close and go far.
For me, going far is faculty who really care about me.
Going far is becoming the first in my family to go to college.
Going far is taking the first step toward my dream job.
Going far is going to college without going broke.
At Everett Community College, you can stay close and go far.
Welcome back once again to Everett Silvertips Rinkside right here on Everett TV. I'm Travis Huntington, the radio voice of the Silvertips, and joined once again right now by team captain and 18-year-old defenseman Ryan Murray. And Ryan, obviously we talked in the first half there a little bit about the World Juniors and what's happened already with this team and going forward, trying to get that playoff push together for this hockey team right now. Now that you are a third-year guy in this league, you've been through a few different situations, obviously, in that time. How have you changed as a player, maybe as a teammate, over the course of that time?
I think that I've just learned a lot from the older guys. I mean, coming in at 15, I mean, seeing those 20-year-old guys, I mean, really looked up to those guys, and I've just really learned a lot over the years. And I mean, when you play 72 games, you learn a lot in the game. And I mean, one thing that I try and focus on is just try and respect all the players. And, you know, no matter how old they are, I mean, when I was young, all the older guys, they respected me. And I've really took that into consideration. I've really tried to keep putting that forward with the team.
Well, and I know that, you know, here you are last season, midway through the year, when Landon Ferraro suffers the long-term injury there, and the team decides to go ahead and put the captaincy on you. And at that time, you're 17 years old. It's your second year in the league, and I would have to think that was probably felt like a little bit of pressure for you at that time. Has that eased for you? Have you settled into that role at all?
Yeah, it was a little different when you're 17. I mean, it's hard to tell a 20-year-old what to do. You know, they're 3 years older than you. But you know, I tried my best, and you know, I just tried to lead by example, and you know, just work hard every single night. And that's something that I've tried to focus on throughout my entire career. And it was just a huge honor to be able to wear the captaincy like that. And you know, I just tried to do it the best that I could.
Well, and is there anything that you feel like maybe you feel more experienced than an 18-year-old? I mean, obviously there's 19 and 20-year-old guys who have been in the Western League for 4 and 5 years, and here in your third season, obviously you're already in your second season really as being a captain and of course one of the more respected players not only on this team but in this league. Do you maybe feel like you're a little more of a veteran maybe than other 18-year-olds?
I don't really think like that, no. I mean, you know, some of the older guys, 19, 20-year-olds, you know, they're the big veterans out there, and you know, like Yadlowski, he's a good veteran, and you know, he's been in this league for 4 or 5 years. So I mean, guys like that you really respect and really look up to.
Well, and you know, Yaz was your D partner last season, and he's an alternate captain this year, and obviously in his 20-year-old season, as you talked about. You two guys are two of the more veteran guys on this team in that aspect. What's your relationship like with him and trying to help the rest of the team kind of together?
Well, he's an outstanding guy. He's a great leader. He's a great teammate, and you know, he's. I think everybody on the team would agree with that. I mean, he's always nice to everybody, and you know, when there's a job that needs to be done, he's always extremely focused on that. And you know, I mean, he wants this team to win as bad as anybody, and you know, he works hard every single day in practice and every single night. He's a competitor out there, and I mean, he's an outstanding leader, and he's a great guy to have around in the room. And I think all of the young guys and even myself can really look up to him and learn from him.
Well, and the other alternate captain on the club is another 20-year-old in Josh Burkholz, who's having a great season right now. And when you went away for the World Juniors, of course, it's going to be a month or better that you were going to be gone at that point. And Josh Burkholz was wearing the captaincy on his chest while you were gone, and that was actually your idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I went into the coach's office, and you know, I said that I want Josh to wear the C while I'm gone. And you know, I was out for quite a while, and nobody was wearing it, and you know, I thought that Mark would give it to somebody, but you know, obviously he didn't, and you know, I just thought that if I'm going to be gone for that much longer, the team can't really be waiting for me to get back, and you know, they got to start taking things into their own hands. And I just said that you know, I could be gone for a month, so I mean, you guys got to get used to not having me around. And I mean, Josh is a great leader, and he's got a great voice on him, and he uses that in the dressing room, and he works extremely hard as well, and he's been a huge puzzle piece to this team this year, and he's done extremely well, and you know, he's made great strides in being a leader, and he's an outstanding teammate.
Well, and I know that as you guys all now try to drive together toward what you hope is a playoff push, that chemistry factor plays a big role in that. And now that maybe some roster things have settled down with the trading deadline passed and all that, is that cohesiveness in the right spot right now? Yeah,
I mean, we weren't doing too well there before the trade deadline, and you know, thought that maybe things would get shaken up a little bit, but you know, I'm happy with the group that we have, and obviously the staff is, general managers as well. So I mean, we're all happy with the group that we have, and we feel that we can really make a push with the group. And I mean, we got a lot of really good players on the team, and you know, just because we didn't make any trades, you know, I think that it's actually a good thing that you know, we didn't move anybody, and we have a great team. Just got to come together, and we'll make a push here.
Well, and obviously I know that that's the most important thing to you right now in terms of winning hockey games as an Everett Silvertip, but obviously there's a lot of other people focusing on the other side of things for you this year, and that's of course the fact that this is your draft eligible season for the National Hockey League, and I know that other people are talking to you about that more than you'd like probably at this point, but is that something that is ever on your mind in terms of the way you prepare or the way you even came into this season?
It's definitely kind of there in the back of your mind. I mean, kind of thinking about it here or there. You know, when you're on the ice, you're not really thinking about it at all. But you know, just you know, writing blogs and stuff. Write a blog for NHL.com, and you know, just kind of, it's always there in the back of your mind, I guess. And you know, it'd be a dream come true to be drafted. And I mean, that's every kid's dream. And you know, when I was growing up, I mean, I never thought that I'd be in the position that I am today. And you know, I'm just really grateful, and I'm just really, really honored to really be that high in the draft class.
Well, and that's all the talk, of course, has you going very high, and I know that you're not the type of guy to focus on those types of things, but Central Scouting has got you up there, you know, in the top 3 players in the entire draft, and a lot of other people are talking about you going high and getting that kind of attention. Is it hard not to get excited about that when you're trying to focus on winning games?
I guess a little bit, yeah. I mean, like I said, it'd be a dream come true, and you know, every year I usually watch the draft every single year, and you know, watch those guys go up there to the podium and shake all the general manager hands, the coaches' hands, and you know, go get the picture and put on a jersey. And I mean, it's obviously a dream come true for everybody. So. I mean, it's hard not to think about sometimes, but I mean, it's a thing that'll happen in June, so whatever happens in June will happen.
Yeah. Have you ever pictured that moment? Do you find yourself daydreaming about going to Pittsburgh and thinking about what it might be like?
I can't even picture it, to tell you the truth. I mean, it's a hard thing to imagine. I mean, it's going to be a pretty crazy moment when it happens, I think.
Well, and I guess at this point, too, who knows what jersey you're going to be putting on that day, right?
Yeah, it's too early to tell. So.
Yeah. Well, and Ryan, I know you're not the kind of guy that craves the spotlight. I mean, you just kind of are the type of guy that wants to go about your business, and that's, I'm sure, got to be harder for you this year when there is that much attention and interviews and all that type of stuff that's going on around you.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to not let it get to my head sometimes, you know, kind of thinking about it a little too much, and just kind of got to settle it down. And I try and just stay away from all that stuff, and you know, all the draft rankings. I mean, everybody's going to have their own opinion, so you know, let them think what they want. I'll just go out there and play, and whoever wants me can take me, kind of thing.
How do you stay grounded in that scenario? I mean, I know that you've got a good head on your shoulders, but what do you do to make sure you keep yourself from getting too caught up in that stuff?
Well, I try and just, you know, not really think about it, you know, not use it as motivation.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to be playing hockey for a while, I mean, I can't use a draft as motivation because there won't be another one. So just try and, you know, focus on the now and focus on the team here. And like I said, whatever happens in June will happen.
Well, I know, of course, there's been a lot of things happening for you. You've got the Top Prospects game, you had the World Juniors, you've got a full season here with the Everett Silvertips, but I know that for you it's been a lot of fun, and it's been fun watching you and being a part of it as well. Really appreciate you being with us here today, Ryan, and obviously best of luck going forward, getting the Silvertip team in the playoffs, and then in June in that draft.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. All right, that is Ryan Murray, and this has been another edition of Everett Silvertips Rinkside right here on Everett TV. Really appreciate you being with us, and once again, I'm Travis Huntington. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next time on Everett Silvertips Rinkside.